What's up, everybody? Welcome back to My Twisted Life and TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review of Ready to Love, Season 5, Episode 8, I believe. And it had something to do with the exes. I do not remember the title. I do not remember the title. I do not care about the title. I call BS on this entire freaking episode. BS. Especially if we're going to compare it to last week's episode. Let me first start off by saying, as I said in the last video, if y'all wasn't here, then you must not be subscribed to the channel. So go ahead and subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. That way, YouTube will know that y'all like the video. And put comments down in the comment section. I enjoy the interaction with everybody. But last week I said that the family and exes episodes are the ones I hate the most. I don't watch the spoilers or teasers at the end of the show. I try to not watch the commercials or the trailers that come out throughout the week. So I didn't even realize that this was going to be the exes week. And when I saw that it was, I instantly got an attitude. So maybe I'm coming from a biased place. My dog is in the background eating. Y'all may hear him moving his bowl because he got a big ass head. Just want to let you know that's what that sound is. So I already had attitude about the fact that they should do this exes. Who in their right mind actually goes to their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend and say, I need you to talk to my potential, and that way you could dig out information for me, and they could dig out information from you. Nobody, unless they're that cool with their ex. And according to these men, once Tommy said that this was going to be Meet the Ex, all of them seemed to have apprehension. A few of them was like, when was the last time you talked to your ex? I'm gonna have to call her. That's gonna be awkward. Now, half of them I think was faking the funk, especially Dante. And here's why. Dante was one of the main ones having reservations about, well, I'm gonna have to call my ex if I don't know how this is gonna work. Yada yada this, yada yada that. And when his ex was there, he was like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see her. Why are you happy to see your ex, Dante? Why are you happy to see your ex? Okay, he was so happy to see her. On top of the fact, the questions that they were laid out before them was very, how shall I say, personal, as if they were digging for their own personal satisfaction. That's what it seemed like to me. Phil was the main one, like, who does this? Who does this? Okay, one of the things I saw about this episode that like really threw me off again, last week we was talking about the dates, the meet the families, and like why certain people was meeting certain families. Like, you ain't even got no connection with them. And I was asked, well, what happened to this connection? Like Walter, who said that Sabrina was his only tight connection. Now this week, Ramin got his heart so closely. Okay, there was connections. The meet the family connections don't make sense to now the meet the ex. Why? The people that y'all had meet y'all families, y'all supposedly had this super tight bond with, or now the ones that you have meeting the ex, the bond is even closer. Why would you? I think I'm gonna stop asking why. Okay, so this is what I found out about the Ponderosa last week. Okay, as I told y'all before, that Mumin and Camille are cousins. Zadia is a really good friend to Camille, therefore a really good friend to Mumin. She may be a relative as well. I'm not certain on that. The whole beef last week with Zadia, we was like, what the fuck she flipping out for? It's all over Cornelius, because Aisha has verbally said in each Ponderosa that Cornelius needs to be the one to go, because he's not making an effort to make a connection with anybody there. They feel the need to defend Camille, and Zadia is the one who's ready to pop off. Camille act crazy, but she ain't gonna pop off unless Zadia pop off, unless she got somebody else popping off too. She's one of them people that join in the popizations. The beef with Sydney is because of, like Sydney says, I understand that the men are stretching. I'm new here. They all trying to get to know me. That's what their issue is with Sydney, because Sydney is actually calling up people, asking them out on dates, this, that, and the third, doing what she's supposed to do on the dating show when you have multiple people that you are trying to get to know, and they feel like she is overstepping her bounds. As we've said in many other seasons, a lot of these dates are set up. A lot of these people have arrangements with one another, and we heard that in this particular episode as well with Walter, when at the end when they was asking who was in your bottom, and Phil said Camille, and Walter was like, you can't say Camille. Matter of fact, Walter said he didn't want to say Camille on the strength of Cornelius. If she in your bottom, she in your bottom. But he didn't want to say her name because he didn't want to hurt Cornelius' feelings. And then he egged Phil on to change his answer because Phil was saying Camille. And he said, no, you can't do that at all. You can't do that to Cornelius. You're going to let this man have that woman. The thing is, if Camille goes, Cornelius goes. Same as last week. If Cornelius would have went, that means Camille went, because they have no interactions with other people. The difference between the two is Camille is putting people off. She acts a fucking ass, period. And then Cornelius is so scared of Camille that he's shying away from everybody else. He's putting up walls and blockers on purpose because he's terrified of Camille's reaction. I'm really starting to believe that these two already had an interaction beforehand. I think Zira had gave me her points of view of who she thought was the couples. I think Frank and Sydney was one, and I think Zadia and or if it ain't Frank and Sydney, it's Zadia and Naeem. Did y'all notice that they never show any other interaction with Naeem except for that one date he had with Camille? Everything is Zadia, 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 and nobody seems to be tripping off the fact that that's all Naeem keeps saying is Zadia, Zadia, Zadia. Nobody but me. I'm tripping off of it. I'm like, really? You ain't ventured out to nobody else? But they keeping him safe for Nadia or Zadia. My bad. Didn't mean to pronounce her name wrong. They keeping him safe. I think I put Naeem and Zadia together and made him Nadia. Anyway. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the episode. Oh shit, I keep forgetting this table rocks and I keep leaning on it. Let's get into this episode. I may be out of order because I didn't write shit down because it annoyed me off the top to find out it was the exes. Y'all cannot make me believe that Tamika is Cornelius' ex. No, ma'am, Pam. If that girl ain't his cousin and or sister, he's not a sister because I researched his family, so I know that's not a sister unless she a wayward child, from another marriage or something. But his Tamika kin to him. Tamika is kin to him. Tamika is kin to Cornelius in some kind of way. They look so much like each other, it was uncanny. Eyes, nose, facial structure, smiles, head, mannerisms, so much like each other. So much like each other. They're family. They're family. Now, the one thing though, out of every ex that we saw, she, I think, had the most open-ended conversation or most detailed conversation to about who she thought Cornelius was. Now it's funny, it's odd to me that they go so deep in depth but claim to not have any connection with these people. It's been so long since I've seen you. So these are different people than who you knew. But you seem to pinpoint the questions right on. He's like, yeah, you know so much about me. You know more about my spiritual walk. Why y'all didn't work out then, Cornelius? What was it about Tamika that you didn't like? She's totally opposite of Camille. Totally. Why didn't it work out with y'all? That's what I want to know. Because y'all cousins. That's what it is. Y'all cousins. Okay. Y'all notice Camille didn't get crazy with that girl one time? She didn't throw a facial expression. She didn't do a quirk. She didn't. She talked in a nice, calm manner, as she would do as a professional teacher or professor, like she was in a classroom setting. She dialogued with this young lady. She answered all her questions almost perfect. And there was one thing I liked about Tamika. She said that she had the right answers. I just don't believe her. Me either, girl. Because she lied. She lied and the truth ain't in her. Camille threw God all up in the mix. God sitting up there in heaven like, hey, don't be saying calling my name. You know, don't put me in this. That's what God up in heaven saying. Don't be lying on me. Because she asked her, about her 3, engagements. She was like, it's better to have 3 engagements than to, have 3 divorces. And they took that as, okay, you've been engaged. You have the ability to commit. You can't commit. But then when she heard 3 times, that's a problem there. 3 times, that's a problem there. In each equation, in each situation, there's one common denominator, and that's Camille. I gotta sneeze, y'all. Give me a moment. God bless me. Pause. All right. I sneezed in the cloth, but I still gotta wash my hands. Okay, so yeah, she was like, why do you think that this time is going to work? You know what I'm saying? You done had 3 commitments that you are no longer in. And she says, because God wasn't included in those. God wasn't in the walk. And now with Cornelius, I ain't never dated a guy like him. I remember her friend saying, you have dated guys like him. You just run over him, those types of guys. But she said she never had a guy like Cornelius before. Somebody that's believing in God, and that, with God on their side, she know that she can keep her legs closed. She won't try to have sex with him before marriage. Lies and the truth ain't in you. You already told us last episode that you want to try to date before it happened. You're gonna try to coerce him. He gonna be so scared he gonna do it. I don't think his walk is that strong as he wanted to be. That's why he got rid of Courtney. Like I said, it makes him afraid that he's not going to be able to stand on his own. But yeah, she said, we got in her life, that God guiding them. The perfect answers. The perfect answers. No crazy. No sign of crazy. But as soon as she got ready to walk out and got to the front door, she said, well, how long is she staying? She's leaving. She got nothing to do. Then she went back into crazy mode. And Cornelius like, I talked to her for a little bit. Why she still here? I don't understand why she ain't walking out before I'm walking out. That's pretty much the attitude she was giving. And he's, bruh, Tommy said it at the end, dog, you don't see the red flags? They wait. They going crazy like this. You don't see the red flags, dog? I wasn't calling you. Go over there. Move. That's the dog. He thought I was calling him. I'm not calling you. Go to your cage. Thank you. And he's like, I guess I don't. Why we don't get to see these conversations? Why we don't get to see the men partner roasting lately? Why we don't get to see the men talk about that? Ain't nobody saying Cornelius, dog. Come on, dog. Is it just the big ass? Is that what it is? That's what it is, just the big ass. Moving on. Naeem and Zadia, again, of course. Naeem's ex was like, you have an issue with ass. These women look at you as a come up, somebody that's going to be a provider, stable. They're using you, but I don't think that she's really into you like you think she is. She's just into having the material aspect of things finally go her way. She wants somebody to cater to her, and she sees you as the gatekeeper to her security, her safety, her wants, her needs. Naeem is okay with that, though. That's what the ex doesn't understand. I sensed a little, I want to say, bitterness from that ex. Not a grand amount, but a little bitterness, like why you didn't try to work this shit out with me. That type of feeling from that ex. But she told him, yeah, you clouded right now. You got your rose-colored glasses on, your rose-colored lenses, and you're not seeing anything past her ass. That's what that ex said. Walter decided to bring Sabrina and Mumin. Now again, last week, he didn't have Mumin meet his, he didn't meet Mumin's family or friends. He did. Something happened. He did. What happened last week? When he told Sabrina's family or friends that he didn't feel for anybody like he does Sabrina, right? But yet and I was like, what the fuck happened to Marine? I thought that was your strong connection. I thought that was your strongest connection. And I thought that he was going to be turned off by Mumin from the meetup that she had with his friends when Dante was there. You know, he was kind of off-putted by that. Maybe he was just talking out of hurt feelings, out of butt feelings, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, this friend reminds me of Mumin, this ex-girlfriend. They even had the same color nails. Hers was long, Mumin's was not that long, but Mumin had, you know, the same style I see in this girl. Mumin seemed like his type, even though he claims she ain't. Sabrina's more his type. If I look back at his ex-wife, Mumin is more his type. Not necessarily in looks, but in the way she carries herself, presents herself. That's Mumin. Maybe he wanted to go outside of the box. I told y'all, because Sabrina is exotic, you know, people was going to draw her. Let me pause for a second. Sabrina's mother, I'm not sure she's passed away yet, but she is in her last stage. She was, last time I saw, she was in her last stages of her life. So I want to give my condolences to Sabrina's soul on her mother, in reflection of her mother. The last time I checked her social media, she said she was signing off, you know, to take care of her mother while she's in transition. And I haven't went back to her page since then, so I don't know what happened. I do know that Sabrina said that she felt that the show was improperly portraying her, the way that they're editing it. She didn't like that. So she already got beef with the show. And that really had to do with the five-friend gang up on Sean. Like I said, Sean was a fuck boy to me. I didn't like him, but that was bullshit, Sabrina. And I still feel that was bullshit. I don't feel that was editing. Just based off of the questions that your friends asked, that wasn't editing. That was how you portrayed the situation to them, and they rolled with it and went from there. But she feels like she's been portrayed wrong, and it's crazy that when she made that post in this particular episode, she seems to have a negative portrayal again. When she came in, she was talking to the ex that, you know, that they was going back and forth, and the ex was like, do you have any questions for me? And she was like, no, I don't need to ask you anything. I don't need to get validation from you about this man. Whatever he wants to tell me, he'll tell me, and it's up to me to believe the words that he's saying, to trust in what he's saying. I don't need to talk to you. Now, I totally agree with that. No, not totally. I agree with that a lot. But there may have been some stuff that happened in that relationship that you might want to be aware of. What if there's some emotional abuse? What if, you know, this and that and the other? You know, what if there might be some things that you just may want to be aware of? But, okay, I understood her point, but her delivery was kind of off-putting. Then Mumin shows up, and I think Walter did that on purpose, the same way that when he came into Mumin and Dante's situation as a third wheel, and Mumin showed up and did the same thing, but Mumin wasn't put off by it. She came in, got into the conversation easily, you know. I think to the point that it agitated Sabrina, and Sabrina was like, you know what, let me go, I got a meeting, I got things to do. And it made it seem like she was dismissing them, but she probably really did have things to do, you know what I'm saying? It made it seem like she was dismissing them, and her comment at the end was, I'm not worried about Walter and his connection with me, which clearly he was, because daddy know where home is. Make a statement like that, make him seem like y'all already fucking. That's what it sounds like to me. I told y'all before that Walter is a player. He had said he already had his whole day. I still don't think it's out of him. I feel that way about a lot of promoters, and that's what he is. He's a host and promoter. Entertainer, you know what I'm saying? He's a hoe, still. So the friend from this particular conversation that said she felt more me. She felt that she was more authentic, down to earth. And even though she is celibate right now, she's exactly what he needs. It may not, he like, really? He was really expecting her to say Sabrina? Because that's what he wants. He wants Sabrina, you know, more than he wants with me. I'm agree to that. I think somewhere along the line, Sabrina and Mamine are going to have issue. And that's only because of, I was in a live stream the other day with Sabrina. And a lot of people were talking about Mamine and Frank's interaction and how Mamine is being naive and things of that nature, which I totally disagree with. And Sabrina and myself were on the same page. And I said, y'all are really underestimating Mamine. You know, there was the comment. And Sabrina came on to say, yeah, you the only one that understand. They just don't know. Wait till y'all see what happened. Everybody got on her like, oh, what's going to happen? And she didn't say, but that gave me some pause and some, I mean, I was like, you gonna say it, girl? You gonna say it? Yeah, something is gonna happen with them, I believe. Maybe on or off camera, maybe just doing a reunion, but there's gonna be some tension. There's gonna be some tension with Sabrina and Mamine. And it's gonna be surrounding Walter, but not necessarily about Walter, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, the friend thinks that Mamine is the best match. And I had to think back for a second. If I recall, Walter said he wanted children. He had this conversation with Mamine. Remember they had that date in the flower garden? He said he wanted children. Sabrina does not want children. She has shut that wagon down. Okay, so this connection that he's building with Sabrina doesn't seem fair to her, fair to him. Because he's not changing his mind on that stance. She's not changing her mind on that stance, I think. But there was a comment made later to her that made me think, what, is she flip-flopping? Okay, but yeah, they just fucking around right now. It's not going to be no long-lasting commitment, no long-lasting connection. They want two different things. Children is kind of important to some people. And Walter's not one that's just saying, okay, I'm going to accept your daughter and that's going to be cool. He's not saying that. He said he wants children. That's the one thing he missed out having with his first wife. And he's 40-something years old too, you know. So, yeah, I don't think that Sabrina and Walter are a match in that aspect. The same way I said about her and Sean. If that's one of the things that you're putting out there up front on the table, then it's an important factor that you need to look at. And for some reason, Walter's overlooking that with Sabrina because of the beauty. Okay. So we go on to, who is it? Frank and Sydney and Mamine. What happened to Aisha, Frank? I thought the job was building such a strong connection. We didn't even see Aisha at all during this entire episode. Not even with Phil. He didn't bring her to meet the ex. We didn't see Aisha. Did she have other things to do too? I don't know. But we didn't see her. Is she the only one we didn't see? I think that's the only one we didn't see. Yeah. So, Frank, Mamine, and Sydney. Baby Sydney came in. She had a list of questions that she had on her phone. Dog, it was a fucking dissertation. Now, let me tell y'all, remember in the casting special, I said, Frank host a podcast with this white girl. This is the girl. I could have sworn in that podcast of when I listened to, they said they had never dated. I may have to go back and listen to that again, but I could have sworn they said they had never dated. She's currently married now, but she kind of asked questions or responded to questions the same way that they would do on the podcast. It was like she was getting information to fill in the podcast segment. That's what it seemed like to me. But Sydney came up with so many questions. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. And again, she said Moonbeam is the better fit. She said Moonbeam was the better. Actually, she liked both of them equally, but she was leaning a little bit more towards Moonbeam. But she liked both of them equally. They're two very different women. Her question is to Frank is, what do you want? And she says that's always been his problem. He's never been able to pinpoint what he actually wants in a relationship, because these are two very different women. So you're basically comparing apples to cars. Two very different women. Now, I ain't gonna say apples and oranges. I'm not gonna say apples and oranges. I'm saying apples and cars. That's how different they are. Remember last week I said something too about Sydney looks leathery or plastic to me. She's had a lot of body augmentations. A lot. Sydney used to be shaped like the letter I, and now she's not. Y'all haven't really seen it, but I've seen her Instagram as Earler, like a bound. You know what I'm just saying? Just added on ass. And she got a little bit of boob job, but not much. You know, her boob job looks more natural than anything, but a lot of fillers, and her face, just fillers. That's what it looked like to me, just fillers. Who on? Dante. Dante brought in, who did Dante bring? Zadia? I can't even remember who the other person he brought. Oh my God. Who was the other person that Dante brought? Y'all put it down in the comment section. I'm so sorry. I don't know who Dante brought. It was somebody else. It was Zadia and fuck me, Shiloh. Zadia and Shiloh. The friend likes Shiloh more, because Zadia is kind of standoffish. She, the way the friend described it is that Zadia wanted to get into the negative meat of who you are. This all her questions were lined up with negative. But Shiloh seems to want to know who you are. You know, the beauty of who you are. There was one thing that threw me. Like I said, Dante was like, oh, I'm so happy to see my ex. But you act like you had apprehension to call up ex. I was surprised that he didn't ask for one of his baby mamas. He got 3 of them. Maybe I thought at least one of the baby mamas was in DC now. I know his daughter is in DC. She goes to college there. But yeah, it wasn't none of the baby mamas. This was an ex-girlfriend. And this ex-girlfriend said that she would date Dante again. Now, since this meetup, Dante has spoken to this friend, this ex, again. I'm just saying. Okay. When she said that yes, she would date him again, she would like to know who the person he is now. That means that Dante is the one that ended that relationship the first time around. She didn't want to let go the first time around. He wasn't ready. But now that he's ready to love, she's letting him know, my card's still on the table. I am interested in you still. Y'all peep that? Okay. But yeah, he's really feeling Shiloh more than anything. Now, in the Ponderosa at the end, he also said Aisha is still one of his strong connections. It is starting to really grow and build with Aisha. I really wish she had been here. But being that she was married for the last few years, her ex would have had to been over, 19 years ago. Shit. What other ex she had? She didn't really have one other than her ex-husband. She wasn't going there. That would have been stupid to do that. Oh, we weren't meeting her exes anyway. We was meeting the guys' exes. Okay, so next up was Cornelius, Dante, Walter, Frank. Do we still got more men than women? because we had the double elimination with the women. I miss somebody. Phil is next. Phil's ex. Phil brought in Tasia and brought in Shiloh. Tasia was upset about the seating arrangements. She was mad that the friend was sitting next to Phil and then Shiloh was sitting next to Phil. She felt that she should have been next to Phil too, okay? She said she really didn't like the dynamic of how everybody was seated. Well, sis, you came in late. You didn't show up on time, so you didn't get your seat. However, I find it funny because in Dorlinda Tracy TV, hey girl, hey, she said the same thing last week when they had to meet the friends. How Tasia sat across from Phil instead of next to him. But now in this particular week, she's upset that she's not sitting next to him. Okay. I knew Tasia was going to go home. I knew it. I felt it. I saw it coming. Yeah. Tasia seemed very uncomfortable with the whole date situation. She didn't like the double date thing. And Phil kept saying, yeah, it's awkward. Phil didn't even want to do the dang on date, you know. But his friend liked both of them equally as well. And Phil still got his eyes on Aisha too. Who else? Who else I'm missing? I feel like I missed somebody. Because Shiloh met somebody else. Shiloh met Dante. He got that boom, boom, boom. Zadia met two people too. And when Zadia met the second person, she was really standoffish again. She was already like, I'm gonna go on another date again and meet the exes again and get drilled again. And her whole vibe is just fucked. Like, what the fuck is up with you? I told her she has this sense of entitlement, this air about herself that really starts to bug me. And I thought she was gonna be one of my favorite people. Who was the other person she went out with? Oh my God. Frank had the drill team. Who is Zadia's other person? Man, y'all gonna have to put that down in the comment section for me. But she went on 2 dates. Zadia went on 2. My thing is, I may not remember who the men are. Walter, Naeem, Phil, Dante, Cornelius. It's only 5 guys. Who's the other guy? I'm missing somebody. Then the women. I'm missing something. I don't remember who her Zadia's other date was, y'all. Y'all put that down in the comment section for me. Charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head, and I'm heart. So I can't even remember that sentence right, because my brain is, who the hell was Zadia's other date? She went with Naeem. It was with Dante, wasn't it? So Dante had Shiloh and Zadia there. Okay. That's what it was. That's what it was. Okay. Goodness gracious. Which explains Zadia's beef with Shiloh too. That's what explains Shiloh's beef with Shiloh too. These women are very possessive of these men. They were very possessive of these men early on. And even though they're not showing it, the men are too. So in this Ponderosa, Tasia got the bad end of the stick. And Sabrina was, like I said, the next one on the low on the totem pole. Only because, like I said, Walter wouldn't be real and say that Camille was his weakest connection, and he punked Phil and just saying it and to not saying that Camille was the weakest connection, because she should have been gone. She should have been gone. Same as Cornelia should have been gone. And I'm glad that Phil, he was like, you know what, I want to talk to Tasia. Let me sit down and have a conversation with her. And Phil said that Tasia is probably one of the realest people there. And for some reason, I believe it. Her and Shiloh seem like the most authentic people there to me at this point. Sabrina, she's like, you know what? I want to say Sabrina's issue at this particular time possibly had to do with her mom and her mom's failing health. and that's why she was coming off like she was coming off. But she was like, this is supposed to be the men's time, to do the elimination, but nobody called me except for Walter all week long. Nobody's made a connection with me. Nobody reached out to me. I done did all I could do. I done pursued. I done put myself out there. What the hell else y'all want me to do? Okay, so it seemed like she was coming off real, defensive. But I felt her. I really did feel her. And now, like I say, and at this particular time, I'm kind of sympathizing with her as well, knowing what's going on with her mother. But they're giving her a second chance at love. And she's just like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And to see it took Phil's commentary to heart, I think that they're going to hook up after the show at some point. If Phil doesn't fall in love with someone, he's still going to see Tasia. I think so. I think he is. Because, she was like, keeping it real, then they'll keep you here. He's like, look, her, you are one of the realest people here. And I don't know, like I said, I'm kind of seeing it. Tommy let us know that next week we're going on the album. This is where we all go to the house and everybody got to make their decisions. I bet it's going to be some type of blow-ups. I bet it was. I bet it is. I'm still waiting on Aisha to come out. I'm still waiting on that Gemini to come out of her. Like I said, I think there's going to be issue with me and Sabrina. I think that's going to come out. Somebody needs to snatch Zadia a new one. And I'm not here for violence. But it's something about her, like, calm down, dirty bird. But that's about it, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I know it's probably stuff I'm missing because, again, I didn't take notes. But I wanted to go ahead and get y'all this video out today because I got a lot of stuff to do. I actually have to go to work on a Sunday. Yeah, I have to go to work today. So I want to get that out the way and then come back and do Money Heist. I have memberships now, y'all. I have memberships. So if y'all want to join the channel, you can get your free little exclusive perks. You can get some special emojis that only you can use. I'll give you member shouts out once a week. If you're in our top tier, you get exclusive videos. You get access to live chats that the grown folk session is going to go membership only starting next year. So we talk about sex and relationships and all kind of other stuff that affects us as grown folks. The membership join button is down in the description bar. You should see it. If you have an Apple phone, you won't see it. I'll put the link in the video once it's uploaded so y'all can see that join button. If not, just subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like it and leave a comment. That also helps as well. Thank you for supporting this channel. I appreciate y'all being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and join. Peace.